Hi, I'd like to welcome everybody to the I Am Real Estate Show. First of all, we want to say thank you guys for taking the time on your Saturday to listen to the show. We're here with Ray Smith, Sandra Johnson, and Danielle Johnson. On the show today, we have who we consider a etymologist, which is branch of zoology. He is very well.
Oh boy,
you looked that up.
Okay, for all you entomologists out there, it is not true.
He didn't say where. He said he considered you
Considered
to be.
me. Yeah, he's considering a lot right now.
Yeah. And you consider him to be a radio show host.
Yes, we think about that from time to time.
We have Rigo Arce. He's well versed in the prevention of infestation in your business or home. He's the owner of Rigo Pest Prevention. It's a locally owned company that's been in the old Pueblo for over 25 years. Is that right?
Man, we got to work with you today. We really do. So, honestly, what a great segue. First of all, it's so good to see you guys. You are a beautiful bunch of people, beautiful family. This month, February, marks my 34th year in the industry. 34 years. I can't believe it, But Rigo Pest is 16 years old. And but I've been serving for 34 years. Yeah. I have the privilege of growing up in a great industry. And the desert is just it's alive. It's so beautiful here. We know that people are coming from everywhere to live here. But before they came, there was already residents that here, and they're called insects and rodents and termites and bees. And by the way, may I say weeds. It's just unbelievable. The desert just speaks.
And they're not too happy about being moved around.
No, they can get angry. They can get cross. And so, and by the way, the definition of a pest, it's a real story. It's the definition of a pest is anything that competes with man or an undesirable organism, So, your children sometimes fall in that category. But
I was thinking when you got to man falls in
man can be a pest. But anything
too.
that competes, So, in a commercial establishment, they don't want, mice and roaches competing with their patrons and their reputation, right? And then, of course, in a home, we don't want peace of mind compromised,
right?
With scorpions and, things that hurt. So, yeah, pests, it's necessary to, prevent them, keep them from infesting. And it's a necessary industry.
Well, Rigo Pest Prevention has been in the company, been in the old Pueblo for 16 years. Last time we talked, I always try to check to see how big you've grown since last time.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember, was 27 the number?
It was 26, and we just added 27. Okay. Yeah, so we're now to 27, and the demand is there. We're proud of that, and training is paramount. Mm-hmm. And every time we add someone, you're looking at the guy here. I do a lot of the training. It means a lot to me to do that, but I do have good people that also train. I can't do it all. But training's the key. I love hiring people that first day, new adventure, they're excited. And my story always is we know who we are, right. Okay? Now, we think we know who you are, but, a tree's known by its fruit, And so the beautiful thing is to watch that employee really demonstrate that everything they said in that interview is real.
Okay.
They're the real deal. And then we get to exercise who we are. And we want to make sure that we're the real deal. And so I think that's why our retention's so good. We care. It's important. It's serious. And we have a boatload of fun.
That doesn't hurt.
No way.
It doesn't hurt. We've had the privilege of meeting some of your employees, and they always represent you so well.
Oh, that's cool. Thank
and
you.
your son.
Yeah, and then there's him.
He's actually been on the show as a guest.
That's right.
With us, and we love him. We think he's just like your mini-me.
His mom did good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he sounds like you. He has the same passion.
He really does have the same passion,
and it's awesome to see.
Yeah, I enjoy watching him do his thing.
That's cool. Is he one of your trainers?
So he is. He's one of our trainers, but I'll tell you, I think I report to him now. He's our IT guy. He writes code. He does our systems development.
Wow.
And I think the thing I love about Josh the most is Joshua has an opinion, and he is not afraid to share it. I think I'm a good manager, but Josh lets me know when I'm not. And no, it's really good. I love when he exercises his point of view. He's very courageous. It's one of the things I've always said about him. And listen, we don't know it all, right? Everything we do, and you're always learning. And we offer an environment for our people, including Josh. We want to hear from you. Even like back to the employee, that new employee.
Yeah.
Day one, they're empowered. I want to know what you think. I want to know if you got an opinion.
Yeah.
All we ask is that you do it respectfully, but your voice matters. You might have a perspective that we just can't see. We've been here doing this forever, and get kind of a little white noise.
Mm-hmm.
I just love hearing from our people, and every now and then we get a good one, that says, a good idea, and we do it.
It seems like you guys don't allow complacency, though. I've seen there and watched where you talk, and when Josh came on the show, the way he talked, you guys don't allow that in your company. You're always thinking, what's the next thing we can do for the client, and what we can do to keep the environment safe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we we're doing a lot of research, and we actually talk to other pest control companies. We have a great distributor here in the city called Viserys. They supply a lot of the products that we use. They're kind of a middleman, and they're highly educated. Then of course it's CEU time. Up in May we got to renew our licenses, so we'll be doing some continuing education classes. Mm-hmm. And we're always looking to learn cutting edge, or what's out there that's working. The better mousetrap, so to speak.
How much CE is required?
Yeah, so the applicators, which are what they call, the guys and gals doing the service, they have to have 6 CEUs, 6 hours. Me as the license holder, I need 12, so I have to get 12 CEUs.
Do you do those in-house?
We do. I actually do 6 of mine at a class somewhere in the state. I'll attend a little mini conference and go and pick up 6 and meet vendors and all that. So I'll pick up 6 that way. And then my other 6 we do in-house we invite vendors in to train us.
Nice.
Yeah, and they do it free of charge. Of course, they bring their products and, that kind of thing. But it's a great time, get some pizza, something like that. And learn the biology of a cockroach once again. Here we go again.
What I like about it.
That would be interesting reading.
Yeah, really.
Over lunch.
Better than flies. That's all I'm saying.
That's all. Tasteful? Are they tasteful?
Let's not go there.
When you talk about training for your clients, or not for your clients, for your employees, how long does that training really take?
So it depends on the position, but anywhere between 30 days or a month,
I need people to understand how long it really is for training.
Yeah, 1 to 3 months, depending on what they're doing. Now that's the introduction, that's the training, and then as I always say, it never ends, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think you become competent in a year, and I think you're very good in 5, and then I think you're an expert in about 10. That's my thinking. It takes there's a lot to learn.
Yes.
There really is. And you need seat time.
It's a lot of things. Nothing's normal. Every day you go out there, there's a different thing that's going to happen every single day.
It depends. It depends on what you're doing, But one reality is if you're taking care of pest control and you're doing a good job, there's no bugs. So it's hard to train guys when there's no bugs.
Which is so darn good.
Exactly.
You
So
make a really
we
good
got to
point.
find buggy homes.
We're here today with Regal RC, the owner of Regal Pest Prevention, serving the old Pueblo for over 16 years. I think I got that number right this time. We'll be back on the other side of the break. I want to do that for Danielle. I haven't seen her in a while. You're listening to the I Am Real Estate Show with Danielle, Ray, and Sandra. Hi, everybody. We're back with Regal RC, the owner of Regal Pest Prevention, a local company here in Tucson.
Right before we went to break, you were mentioning that you need buggy houses.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone's listening and you have that buggy house, we got to tell you, call Rigo. He needs to use that for some training purposes.
That's right. And no judgment. Okay, no judgment. Just we're professionals. Just give us your bugs.
So if it's not for a buggy house, let's talk about weeds. You guys do weed prevention as well.
We do weed prevention and weed remediation. I love going to like a real estate show or a seminar or something, and I'll stand up and I say, "I do weed," and then I pause. Love that. We do weeds. And I got to tell you, if you're listening to this right now, I bet you're saying, oh, yeah, they are popping like crazy.
Yes.
We had some really generous rains. We really have. And, of course, so the, preceding weeds, that existed. They drop their seed capsules, they fall down into the soil, and they sit there, and until a nice good soaking, a good wet rain comes in, those seeds then start to germinate, and they move quickly. Once they get a little bit of those UV rays, they sprout, and boy, they grow exponentially. You think you've got time. You look out the yard, you see these tiny little green things. Turn your back, turn around.
Go get the mail.
And now
come back.
They're 3 inches tall, And so it doesn't take long. So we do provide a preventative application called a pre-emergent. When those seeds are dropping and that soil is dry, we come in, we get that product down in the ground that gets soaked in, and it will actually prevent those seeds from germinating in the next rainfall. That's called pre-emergent. Now, for the weeds that are already growing, yes, we'll come in and we do a remediation of what's called a post application, where we do a weed kill and kill those weeds. When they start getting 6 inches or taller, really it's best to go ahead and have those pulled and removed, because if you kill those, you're just going to have a bunch of brown twigs all over your lawn. So you're going to have to pull them anyway. Yeah. So there's a process, and you've got to time it. It's all timing.
How long in between services?
Right. So the pre-emergence, it's recommended to have a minimum of 2 applications a year. Typically, you're going to do one right before winter, because then we get these winter rains. So, for example, right now, people are experiencing weeds because they didn't get that pre-emergent done, say, November, for example, October, November. The other application is going to be, maybe, say, June or July. And what you're doing there is you're beating, or you're preceding that monsoon rain. It could be broken up even over 3 applications over a year. But anyway, those are the 2 big seasons that you want to get that pre-emergent done. The follow-up treatments with, knocking down those existing weeds that do grow, those nuisance weeds, we do a quarterly service every 3 months, just like a pest control service. So when we treat a home, we'll kill all the weeds, and then we give it a 3-month guarantee. And then during that time, if they see weeds, they just call, we come back. But then 3 months later, we come and visit, and we do another application if anything popped up. And then 3 months after that, that's the second round of the pre-emergent, plus killing any weeds that might have popped up. Great program, works well. You keep that rotation up, you really will have a nice weed-free yard.
We have such a large yard that
do.
It's a challenge.
You do.
Yeah, it really is a challenge. But you guys have done great service for us, and we appreciate it. And like I said, we love everyone who comes out.
That
they
means
always
a lot.
do such
That
a
means
great
a lot.
job. We're sitting here on the break, and you're getting text messages.
Yeah, I just got a text message from my neighbor, and he is giving me, according to this, 2 thumbs up. Says the guys are nice. And, of course, I was a little nervous. It's the neighbor. The next potluck, it could have been bad, and I need the reputation to hold true. But, in fact, my block, my gosh, I walk my Australian Shepherd, and man, there's weeds everywhere, so I'm just letting people know, hey, if you need anything, let me know.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that. We were driving home. We just went out to Minnesota to see my sister-in-law, and we came back. I'm looking through the road, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of weeds around here.
Yeah.
Then I turn into ours. I'm like, why don't we have weeds? Then I'm like, oh, that's right. We have Regal Prevention. That's
right.
On. It just reminded me, because you guys do such a great job, and you're so unintrusive.
That's great.
That you don't really know what's going on. I mean, I forgot that we had you guys until I saw up to the property.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All these people got weeds. I know the rain. Where are weeds at?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's right. We have a good service.
Yeah.
Talk about how you guys reach out when it's time to get that service too, because I think you have a great system.
We really do. We really do. And this is a credit to my son Josh. We have we have an automated system that reminds people that their services are due, and that they'll be getting a phone call. We have a dedicated scheduler that actually reaches out to our clients and picks convenient days and times. Then the day before the service is going to be delivered, the client gets a reminder email that we're going to be on site.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we do provide the service in the event the client's not home, every service we then send out a record showing we were there, who was there, the time, the materials, and a reminder that if they need us back, It's free of charge. Just give us a call. And then finally, we have a quality control person who calls and asks how the service went. And so we really cover our bases. We want to make sure. My thing is I want to deal with things at the first opportunity, right away when it's fresh. Mm-hmm. Hey, everybody drops the ball from time to time. And so if we didn't finish something or do it right, we're going to get back there and get it done. And so I feel like we got our bases covered.
Yeah, this sounds like your process is customer oriented.
Very much so. Yeah. Very much so. Well, customer's king. I mean, that's the deal. And I have a poster in my hallway of my office that sat behind my desk as a manager back in my Truly Nolan days in the 90s. Yes, in the 90s. And it says, you should treat customers as if your job depended on it. And then in parentheses, in capital letters, it says, it does.
That's awesome.
And so that same poster, which now is pushing 30 plus years old, is hanging in my office.
That's cool. How do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so our phone number here locally, 520-744-6177. And then our website is rigopest.com. That's RIGOPEST.com.
Boy, Josh made it simple for you, didn't he?
That was my idea.
Sure.
Come on. I do a few things right. I came up with that.
The question, though, is if Josh is posting on Facebook yet.
Hey, how about them Wildcats?
It's such a hard thing. When you're a small business owner, having, you have to be a marketing expert. You have to be a customer service expert. You have to be a financial expert. You have to be as an employer, you have, the employment taxes. And there are so many hats that you wear as a small business owner. So kudos to you. And Facebook is on the list of things that one day,
well, I will say to Danielle's credit, she always nudges us that way, but we are number 27 from this time was a young lady. Her name is Alyssa, and we're going to be tapping into her expertise. So there will be a time I'm going to look you in the eyes and say, we are booming, girl, in the social media. We are.
We'd like to thank you for spending some time with us with Rigo from Rigo Pest Prevention. He will be back on the other side. Thank you for spending your time this afternoon with the Johnson Smith team at Indy Realty. You're listening to the I Am Real Estate Show, where the I Am stands for Integrity Matters. You're listening to our show on 1030 a.m. The Voice. We're here with Rigo from Rigo Pest Prevention. Hi, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. We're here to discuss some more interesting stuff about pest prevention. In the pest prevention realm, in the old Pueblo with Rigo, RC, owner of Rigo Pest Prevention. Thank you for tuning into our program.
So in addition to all the weeds, there are lots of flowers that are coming up and pollinators that are everywhere.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you have to share about bees?
Yeah. So we definitely have the blooming flowers, and with that come bees and wasps. They want that nectar, that's in those flowers. So bees, their activity overall is, as we probably all know, they're beneficial. That's a beneficial insect. And it's one that we really need to preserve as much as we can. So I tell people, like a how-to or a best practice is don't plant too many bushes up against the house. Keep the house nice and free and clear. Let the house breathe, as I always like to say. But also you're preventing, attracting rodents, or in this case, bees, really close to the house. So try to keep those beautiful florals, away from the house as much as you can. Keep them trimmed. But they're just doing their natural business. They're looking for pollen and so forth. So right now we're going to see a lot of bees coming out. These temperatures, 75, 80, they're coming out. The other thing is, over the winter, the bee colonies that, are kind of hunkered down for the winter, they just kept growing. And they reach a certain size, and there's just not enough room where they have their honeycomb. So they do a process, what's called absconding, where they create another queen, a second queen, and she takes about half the colony with her, and they swarm, they leave, they abscond, and they're looking for a new home so they can vacate some space for the existing colony. And that swarm is flying through our city streets. We've all seen it. You might even run into them on the road with your windshield. they need to be left alone. They need to let them find a new home. A lot of times they'll land on a home, hang like the size of a football. We encourage folks to leave them be, to stay away from them, and in a day or two, they should move on. And if they don't, then call a beekeeper. That's a very easy way to relocate them. They don't need to be exterminated, okay? Now, once they do make it home at your place and they find a little cavity and they get up in there, now they're inside the wall, well, now you have a choice. You can still call a beekeeper and have them, extract those bees, or you can exterminate them, which, we don't recommend, but there are people that for financial reasons, or they just are so nervous they just want them exterminated, and of course we'll help them. So we advocate relocating if possible, but there's a time to exterminate.
I was going to say there are a lot of people that are allergic to bees,
and they get very, very concerned. So and there's a stigma that comes with killing bees, and we don't want to be that company that we're not advocating that, but there's a time. Bottom line is just leave them be, let them do their business.
Leave them what?
Leave them, should I say it again? Leave them be. How about this one? Be on alert. Be on alert.
That was the first time I feel like he had a really good joke in the middle of a story.
He's waking up. He's waking up. Thank you. So they get around your spa. You try to enjoy your pool, and and it's difficult. It is.
And what about once they've become Africanized? Is that kind of a game changer?
Right now, I'll be honest. I don't know where we are percentage-wise. There's a lot of different theories out there that all the bees are now Africanized, but they've actually dociled down a little bit. Some believe that it kind of came and went through, and now is back out, and so they're more European honeybees and not Africanized. But every now and then you can still tell. The best way to tell, besides looking at their wings under a microscope, because their vascular system is a little different between European honeybees and Africanized honeybees, but behavior. I mean, you just know when you get in the presence of an Africanized beehive, they do not quit. Everything is on steroids. I mean, they are ramped 100-fold. So they're coming at you. They don't stop. They don't quit. They come in numbers. They're aggressive. You just know. My feeling is I feel like that it's kind of was heightened, and it's thinned out. I think that they have thinned out. I think we are seeing it sort of blended in, and it's toned down. And every now and then we'll hit a hard, heavy core one.
Right.
But I think that it's mellowed out, in my opinion.
Do the beekeepers have a hand in that by replacing an Africanized colony?
That's a great question. I honestly don't know. I think that's a really good question. There's a lot of reputable companies out there that can probably answer that. Yeah.
Are they not part of the fire department anymore? Or?
There needs to be a real 911. It's kind of like with snakes too. When children and pets are involved, they will respond. But just to see a snake in the yard, or there's a beehive hanging in the tree, they're not going to respond. Okay. They've been alerted way too many times, false alarms, things like that. They make that decision, but it's going to have to truly be almost life-threatening for them to come. Yeah.
We talked about bees and how they're on their way out. What about snakes? Are snakes on their way out?
No, not at all. In fact, that's another thing that's probably going to ramp up this year.
Okay.
Southern Arizona is, I don't know, there's some stat about, per capita, per square footage or whatever. We have an incredibly high percentage of rattlesnakes per acreage in the Southwest, Southern Arizona. It is an extremely aggressive population here, particularly up towards the Tortolita Mountains. That's just some reading that I did recently, cross Marana into Oro Valley. That whole corridor there, they say it's like the highest level rattlesnakes in southern Arizona. So, yeah, we do snake prevention. You definitely want to train your dogs, and you definitely want to keep the yard trimmed, and you want to screen your gates and fences.
Although if you live in that area, just move. Call us. Just move. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Help you find a new house.
Yeah, the Indy real estate team will help relocate you and find a buyer for your home.
Which is easier, relocating an area of known snakes, or just moving? I'm just saying it's just another option to consider.
Sure.
You can't always make your neighbors move. You got to do it yourself.
So be on alert. Be on snake alert.
There you go.
There you go. And go Cats.
Go ahead and give us the phone number again.
Yeah. So 520-744-6177. My name is Rigo. I'm the proud owner. And we cover the whole metropolitan area. And the best of all, we do free inspections. We just love meeting people. I love educating. I love making friends, whether we are in the business or not. We just
remind
want to
them
be
your commercial also.
What's that?
Your commercial.
What about it?
Remind them that you're a commercial company.
Oh, yeah, and we do commercial too. I'm sorry.
sure
Okay, I thought I was about to do a commercial. Hi, this is Rigo with Rigo Pest Prevention.
Okay, if you're looking to buy or sell your home, you have any questions about real estate, please get a hold of the Johnson Smith team. We can be reached at 520-850-1725, 520-904-7711, or 520-373-6864. We'll be back with more of the show on the topic of pest prevention with the resident expert, Rigo Arce of Rigo Pest Prevention, a locally owned business. Hey, thanks for staying with us and joining us in our last segment. We're here with Rigo Arce, the owner of Rigo's Pest Prevention. And Danielle, we were talking during the break, and Danielle had a great question. I thought she might would like to hear on the air.
Well, we were talking about getting a termite inspection. And, when you're buying a house, that's part of the process of your inspection period. You're wanting to know what the house needs, any work that needs to be done. And so we always recommend a termite inspection. And when you're buying the house, you do pay for that termite inspection. So my question was, for a homeowner who's just curious, they want to make sure that they don't have a problem, do you charge for that termite inspection?
That's a great question. The answer is no, we don't. That's a courtesy inspection. And so that's just someone that wants an evaluation, see the condition of the home, and are there any signs of wood-destroying insects, termites in particular. So that's a free inspection. And that leads right into, if you're getting ready to list your home. Let me tell you, I just had a story. Customer reached out to me. I was recommended. They were getting ready to sell their home. I went there and I found a very minor, and I mean like I always use a scale, 1 to 10. It was a 1, maybe even a 0.5. And so we charged very minimal fee, treated it, and put the house under a 1-year warranty, the whole house, right? Well, the buyers then come, the house went on the market, buyers come, they do their inspection, they have their termite guy, and they found the stain, right? Because when you have termites and you knock down the tube and, you got a little stain left over. Well, they saw the stain and they did good. They reported it on their report. That's what you do. But they leveraged a full treatment estimate with the buyer saying, hey, you need this done. And of course, the buyer, they think, okay.
They don't know any
They
different.
push onto the seller. We want this. I mean, it's a demand. 5-year warranty, full treatment, everything. And my client was able to say, well, thank you, but this house already is under warranty, and that was treated, and here's the treatment record, and the warranty does transfer you. So there you go. We're good. So they saved a ton of money. They didn't get pressured into anything. So when you're listing a home, get a free inspection. Now, when you're buying a home, the reason why there's a fee, we have to fill out a state report called a WDI report, a wood destroying insect report. And then that gets filed with the state of Arizona's Office of Pest Management. And then, of course, that report is also sent to the escrow agency for the close of escrow. So there's some details involved, and that's why we charge for that inspection on a buyer.
And people need to know that document stays with that property. You can find that document with that property anytime you want.
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
It's filed, it's saved.
Yeah.
Now the actual document and its findings are only good for that time. That document doesn't transfer to another potential buyer. Let's say that if the deal fell through.
It's a snapshot.
It's a snapshot.
Time.
That's right. She remembers that. It's like taking a photograph on that day, that time. Here's what was there. That's it. It's over. Now it's recorded and it's historical, but it can never be used on another transaction.
Okay.
You'd have to do another WDI report.
We actually, I think you and I had one years ago now, where there was some significant damage up in an attic, and it's so important that whoever you do hire is really looking at the house.
Yeah, I'm amazed when I hear from other agents or even sellers or buyers, and they say the inspector didn't go up in the attic, or didn't go in the crawl space. And we're talking it was accessible. Now listen, there's times where these things you just can't, even I can't get in.
Give me a second. My first time meeting Rigo, we were on 6th Street. It was a duplex. And underneath that thing was so scary, people. Let me tell you that I knew there was going to be snakes, rodents and all kinds of
Black
stuff.
widows.
And I asked Regal, are you really going to? He said, yeah, man, I have to do this. And I said, I was so afraid. He said, but this is something you always see. Someone must do this every single time, whether it's nice under there or not.
I remember that.
And I remember that. I'm like,
yeah.
holy crap, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And then I found out he's also the owner. So if he's doing it, I know everyone else is doing it.
Right. So yeah, no, pretty important. So you're right. Definitely a thorough inspection is so important.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is, some people are really freaked out by termites, but it's still something that you can treat.
Totally. My phrase when I meet folks, especially, Californians and Wisconsins and, people that, Californians have some serious termite issues. And then somebody from Wisconsin doesn't have any termite issues, So you got both sides of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And when I meet them here in Arizona and I'm doing their inspection, I tell them, listen, termites are only a problem if they're ignored. If they're ignored, over time, your house is a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen. But if you get on it, you take care of it. It's part of the desert. Nothing to worry about. Just needs to be handled.
As a sidebar, I was sitting there listening to you talk in the last segment, and just the fact that every time I turn around, you're always you're continuing to learn about the industry.
Yeah.
You said, I just read this article about something,
Yeah.
It's like a flyby, but you do it all the time. You're always learning more about the industry.
Yeah, the recent one that we're looking into right now is contraceptive birth control for rodents. As you all know, we don't use rodenticides. I don't bait rodents. I find it very high liability, ineffective at times, lots of potential issues. Anyway, but there is some new technology out there that in severe cases, heavy populations, to combine with trapping, and trapping is very effective. But there is birth control products out there now, baits and liquids, that you set up these stations and the rodents ingest it. And over time, now this takes time, it's a long process, but it will sterilize, the population, and therefore they can't reproduce. And so that is something that we've looked into and we're beginning to implement in our program. So it'd be a combination of contraceptive and trapping. So it fits that, green mentality. It fits that, no pesticide mentality and, environmentally friendly. So yeah, tremendous advances in the industry. I love learning about that and trying them. And then we've got customers that love to be experiments. We'll try a new, treatment of some kind, and I know who to call. And they're wonderful. They love to let us use their property as a test pilot.
I know that you're very, we talk a lot about the safety and how it's very important to you guys to make sure that you're using the best, safest products. And the application is also based around,
you got it.
Who's living there and the situation to make sure that it is safe for everyone who's there.
Yep.
But I wonder about the birth control, basically, for the rodents. Does that affect the animals that may eat the rodents? Does that transfer to them?
No, it's designed for the biology of the rodent, and it also has a lot to do with half-life in terms of the way that it's metabolized and how quickly it's metabolized. But keep in mind, here's the thing, it doesn't kill them. So to that point, it would have to be a rodent that was, ingested live from, say, a predator. But nonetheless, the product breaks down. It's something that's non-systemic. And so all the studies are showing that it doesn't cause adverse effects or secondary exposure and things of this nature. Yeah. That's actually a really good question, by the way.
Well, and it's something that I knew you'd know the answer to.
Yeah.
I was afraid to ask because I didn't know if I was gonna, what if you said, "Oh yeah, anything that eats it's gonna die."
That's important. So a lot of these companies that do this, prepare these products, they have to do a tremendous amount of rigorous testing through the EPA. It has to meet standards, and then they have to demonstrate all their findings and reports and so forth. And so, their reputation's on the line as well as they develop these products and begin to market them. And so that's what in the past, I think I've shared on this show that, the industry is a community. You got the manufacturers, you got the distributors, you've got the applicators, and we really work well together, and so the science is just advancing every single year more and more. And so, but environment and safety is paramount all the way across the board, all facets of this industry.
You were listening to somebody who's been in the business for 34 years. He has a business that's been in Tucson for 16 years. That's Regal Arce of Regal Pest Prevention. and is a locally owned company. And
Yeah,
talk a
just
little bit.
if you would just tell us one more time how people can reach you.
Yeah, listen, always an honor to be on the show. I love you guys and the radio community out there. The number for us is 520-744-6177, a nice local number there. And then our website's real easy. My first name, RIGOPEST.com, rigopest.com. That's our website, and we'd love to be of service.
Yeah, if you need service, we highly recommend them, and we use them on our own properties, and we can't say enough good about the company and about Rigo and the culture there. So
love it.
We thank you for being a part of.
Love working with you guys.
Part of our show. Yeah, well, thank you.
Integrity matters.
Yes, it does. We have an open house this afternoon.
Come see me.
Yeah, come see Danielle. Open from 1 to 4. It's at 31 East Pastime Road. It's a townhouse, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 902 square feet. It's located just about a mile or so east of the Tucson Mall. So if you get a chance to swing by and take a look at that, if you're in the market, and even if you're looking for something a little bit larger, Danielle will be there to answer any questions that you have and can connect you with a lender.
Price.
Oh, price is $220,000.
Do we have anything else coming soon, Sandra?
Yeah, we've got one that's out Houghton and Bilby area. That's going to be at $320,000 to $335,000 range priced, and it's coming soon. It'll be available with open houses next weekend. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
And then we also have another townhouse in Menlo Park that's going to be coming up in a few weeks. It is coming soon in MLS right now, and that's on Placida Bronce. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, listed at $320,000, and that has owned solar and a 2-car garage. It's a great little property. You can tell that the owner loved her home. And then one last one, brand new construction out in Tucson Estates, number 2. And that is on South Diamond D Drive. And that's going to be a 4-bedroom, 3-bath.
What about the one in Savannah?
It's not out
yet. We
yet.
don't have one in Savannah.
Oh, maybe it's just me. I'm old.
If you would like some more information, feel free to reach out to us. You can come stop by the open house and say hi. I'd love to see you.
Yeah, and feel free to give us a call if you want to know about any of the properties that we mentioned today. We appreciate you being here. We want to thank our sponsors as well: Rigo Pest Prevention, Pioneer Title Agency, Indy Realty, and Inspired Life Mortgage. If you reach out to them, let them know you heard about them on the I Am Real Estate show.